South Africa's economy takes a hit. How big is the problem for Africa's most industrialized nation? Hello, I'm Anand Naidu, and this is The Heat. South Africa fell into recession this month for the first time since 2009. The country is also dealing with an unemployment rate at a 14-year high, and the nation's credit rating was recently downgraded. The economic setback is piling pressure on President Jacob Zuma and his government. What are his plans to get South Africa back on a solid economic footing? For more on the extent of the economic downturn and the political implications for South Africa, we begin with CGTN's Angelo Coppola, who joins us from Johannesburg. And Angelo, tell us more about these tough economic times South Africa is going through. What is the extent of the problem, and what is the government doing to resolve this?
Well, the economy is in dire straits right now. Economic growth for the year is anemic. The World Bank reckons that will be around 0.6% for the year. To make matters worse, at the beginning of June, we awoke to the news, of course, that South Africa is now in a technical recession. That's 2 months' worth of negative growth in the economy. And then the country was downgraded by Moody's to one level just above sub-investment grade or junk status. Late last week, the new finance minister, Malusi Gigaba, had just got back from London after trying to convince investors there that despite being the new kid on the block, the ANC economic policy remains in place. That's despite all the new rhetoric around this radical economic transformation that's being used as a means to try and provide growth opportunities to the majority of the population. It's a term that scared those two rating agencies into the downgrade action that you mentioned. The agencies were also concerned about the financial condition of several of the state-owned companies like South African Airways and Eskom, the power utility. The government has about $40 billion of guarantees in place to keep those and other companies in the state-owned business area afloat. And at least one bank is getting a little nervous, though, and has called in its $180 million loan. And to top it all, late on Wednesday afternoon, Anglo Gold Ashanti, the gold producer in South Africa, announced that it's likely to cut around 8,500 people from its South African operations. So it's not a pretty picture out there at the moment, Anand.
Angelo, how are South Africans responding to all of this, and what sort of impact is it having on President Zuma and his government?
Well, South Africans aren't sure what to make of all of this. They're worried, obviously. Unemployment, as you said, is at those record levels. Anywhere between 27% and 50% is what the number is right now. Inflation is also edging upwards, and business confidence levels are very depressed at the moment. And while the ANC is putting on a brave face, the wake-up call that it got at the last round of municipal elections is weighing heavily on their minds. It's also now very apparent that there are two distinct factions within the ruling party, and this will probably come to a head at their policy conference that they're having this weekend. There's a pro-Zuma and a pro-Ramaphosa standoff in the offing, analysts are telling us at the moment. There's also another no-confidence debate in Zuma, and a vote, in fact. It'll be the 8th in his 2 terms as president. The debate that they're having now in Parliament is whether that the House Speaker will announce that it's a secret ballot to vote on that no-confidence debate or not. So the country is in a state of flux at the moment, and there's a need for strong leadership, analysts are saying, in the next couple of months to make sure that we get through this critical phase. Anand?
Thanks, Angelo. That's CGTN's Angelo Coppola reporting from Johannesburg.